All right, we're live. Look at that.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. What's going on? I think we're live.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yep, we're going. Hope everyone's doing well. This is the first time that we're doing something like this. We're very excited. We had a little technical difficulty yesterday when we tried to go, but YouTube stops the noobs apparently from coming in and just spouting off. They were really looking for Donald Trump, I think, entering the YouTube live game.
Oh,
So
God.
they put a 24
I
hour
heard about that. And
hindrance.
I don't want to make this whole hour about how I feel about that. That is
But we are
ridiculous.
here to discuss WandaVision episodes 1 and 2. We will probably be going over spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, please stop watching this
Yeah,
video.
just stop. You can pause, actually, I think, right? You can stop the live,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then you can catch up with us later and find out what we talked about.
And so we will just be discussing our speculation, just kind of going through the episodes, breaking them down, what we thought of them, and etc. I have with me Justin from Instagram and YouTube at Comic Talks. You can find him on Instagram and you can find him on YouTube at Comic
Yep.
Talks. So he is on both. And yeah, let's just jump into it, man.
Yep. So my first thing right off the bat, it starts, and we have the Dick Van Dyke intro, which is pretty much, if you were in Europe and you were learning the English language, I was going to say the American language like an idiot. If you were learning about American culture and you were learning, they had this program where you would watch a syndicated television show to get like a rhetoric and everything of how the words are put together and everything, and then they would have it on the side off. You'd be able to watch it in your language, so you'd be able to start piecing that together. So I think that's kind of what they're doing with stuff like that, and her being Sokovian, and like kind of like a little hint at that stuff.
Right.
How that them shows would kind of be something she would watch if she was younger in Sokovia, even in the 90s and 80s and stuff. They still watch that stuff today. So
Yeah.
and then
I liked how they played with a lot of the stuff they did television wise. The commercials, especially, was among my favorite. However, the first episode, just going through, I was not very impressed until about 15 minutes in when I was really like, oh, okay, maybe this episode is about to be something. But it took 15 minutes of like very slow build up.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just like a slow burn, but you notice like your feelings once it hit the choking scene, you felt it, right? Like it turned into a horror movie real quick.
Yes,
and it was just
yes,
like you felt that rising to like where they were both the shattered illusion to them, where they were like someone's dying right now.
When they sat down and for that, so first of all, like the whole time going into it, I was like, man, this is cheesy, this is really corny. And like I didn't even laugh until like the boss was back at the house and they made that pig joke with the EIEIO, the old Mac, when they're singing the song. And so
he was like,
and yeah, he called him a pig, which was kind of funny. That made me laugh. But and it wasn't until they sat down and started asking him questions like, "Where are you from? Or how did you meet? Or what's your story?" Where I was like, "Okay, something is going on here now. Like now we're starting to build this story." I felt, but it took that long just to get anywhere. Usually, you can establish characters a lot faster than 15 to 20 minutes.
Like for me, when I was watching it, I have all these because I watch it from a speculator's point of view, so it kind of ruins some things for me. I'm always looking at every character so much that I miss other things. So this is my third time watching it today, and yeah, I watched. I had to watch. It's two episodes. It's not too.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. So I watched. I don't want to yell because I'm in a room that probably doesn't have good sound, but I watched it again today, and I realized that Vision and Wanda, they both react to the same things, but they show like different sides of like what you're thinking. Like, oh, is it something? Oh, it's nothing. But like, it seems like Vision's not even there. So that's why I think, and I want to get into that a little bit later once we come, because I got a point here to for episode 2 to talk about where it seems a little bit like she's manifesting him, and the town's trying to manifest a child out of them. Like they're using the fact that she wants him back to make someone else look like him. And it's like not really him, but it's
I was
someone else who wants to.
Feeling a little bit too that Vision really he really wasn't there. Just the way that he was like phasing and transforming back between like the human form and his form, just it just didn't seem right. So I was like, is this all kind of imaginative right now, or what's going on?
I got that that like wishful thinking feeling, like that's what she wished he wouldn't bumble over his words or get confused by his own emotions, because he's not charismatic. Vision is, if anything, just like he's a child.
He's a robot. Yeah,
he's like what, 6 years old when they get married. So like that's what I'm saying. Like,
if you want to be technical, yes.
For the world, he doesn't really. He's still learning. Obviously, it's huge leaps and bounds when it hits infinity. Everyone knows like he looks actually human in the room. So I mean, like, they're just kind of showing you that he's a softer version of himself now. But I think this is a view of what she saw that at that time, when they had their private moments, and this is an feeling that she's had and wanted to continue the storyline herself in this universe.
Okay. I think in the first episode, I just wanted to make one. If we're going into some observations, I'm pretty sure it's the first episode where the helicopter appears. Yeah.
Yeah, the little sword helicopter.
Mm-hmm. And with that being like there's only 3 parts of the series that are in color. The helicopter is the first thing that shows up that's in color. And I don't know if you happen to notice that there was the number 57, which I thought was a really cool call to Vision's first appearances in Avengers 57. So I thought that was pretty decent. But what do you think the color represents?
Honestly, warning, danger, something's going on, something wrong is happening. Just to touch on another point with the red, when they show the toaster, the only red you see is the little blinking light going faster and faster, little warning light.
Yep.
So every time you're seeing red, they're either like chipping away, trying to get to her and trying to talk to her. Like she's in a trance right now with her huge, it could be someone helping her with it, easing her into it. Because it seems like everything in this community is set towards making her more comfortable with having kids and starting a family with Vision, instead of them being worried about what he looks like, how he acts, and how the world perceives him and her. Because as soon as she says that, I don't trust you, or I don't believe you, when she's like, I'm not going to hurt anyone, Wanda snaps again and the radio starts fucking up. As soon as
when Dottie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dottie, I did want to get to Dottie. So before we get to Dottie, there was a small thing where they're sitting there and they're saying the devil is in the details. And then I know you like, bro, I thought the Leonardo DiCaprio where he's on the couch and he like snaps. Dude, I did that exact thing, I swear to you. And he's like, devil's in the details, and that's not the only place he is. I was like, yes.
Yeah, dude.
I knew I like
Krabby Patty's good.
Boom. Because I know.
Can you pass that over here?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get that to I can't.
Oh, wrong side. Right. Oh wait, damn it. It's okay. It's an illusion.
But I know they're referencing Mephisto, so I'm very excited.
I know you wanted to talk about Mephisto.
Definitely.
And I just wanted to talk about, real quick, just a little sidebar. We're only 8 minutes into the video. Who do you think should play Mephisto?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I know you were saying Willem Dafoe for Mephisto, but I kind of think that as far as like an awesome villain would go, the guy who plays Homelander makes like such an awesome angry face. Damn. Like his angry face is so intense, and like he's just so good at being hated. But I know he's already so established as Homelander, so it's hard to find.
You never know what he's thinking. That's my thing with Homelander. You never know what he's thinking. So my pick, Sam Raimi's going to be doing Doctor Strange. This is leading into Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe. Because I can I can see some comparisons between these two guys. And for one, his entire career was built off of fighting demons. And full circle, baby. Full circle.
And now he becomes one.
It got Sam Raimi into movies. Bruce Campbell is like his bae. He's in every Sam Raimi production.
So
Give me Bruce Campbell as
a happier
Mephisto.
picture of him, like to portray such an evil
I'm
demon.
Mephisto.
Yeah.
I'm Mephisto.
Oh,
Hey.
gosh.
But anyways,
yes, go ahead.
All right, so back to the red. There was the helicopter.
There's the helicopter. There is the blinking light on the toaster, like you were saying.
Mhm.
There's the blood on her
Yeah.
hand when she shatters the glass and cuts herself.
Mhm.
So that made me wonder who Dottie is going to be or become.
I think Dottie has the highest chance of being Mephisto. But
oh man, I'm so glad that you said that. Okay, go ahead, please tell me why.
I thought she was until I saw the whole blood thing.
Now
I think
that she's
Vision
the
is
daughter
Mephisto.
of Mephisto.
I think Vision's Mephisto.
You think Vision's Mephisto? That would be the craziest. That would be the craziest flip.
I know, but
I don't think that.
I want it so bad.
You want it so bad.
And you've been having sex with me. And just like all of a sudden, like, you know, they wake up, she looks over, and
it's Danny DeVito from Mephisto.
It's Bruce Campbell. Hey, baby. I'm gonna get to the king.
I wonder if Dottie isn't the daughter of Mephisto.
Honestly, that's a good one too. But I think if anyone is like Mephisto or a daughter of Mephisto, they're not even like, you know, kind of a person messing with them, because there's Agatha Harkness, and I think that she serves the purpose of being the you know, the person doing all the tasks and making sure that everyone stays on point with the illusions and you know, with making her feel comfortable in her nest, because it seems like the whole town of Westview is Nest View for me.
Very cultish.
You think about it, like those shows are always driven for, you know, pushing people into, you know, sitting down in the living room with their family, and you're nothing if you're not a husband and stuff like that, you know, like you weren't,
you know your role type of thing.
Right, exactly. And it seems like all the shows have that, you know. So I mean, I'm just going with the whole nest egg, and they want her to make them a new person to use, you know.
Right. Let's talk about Agatha or Agnes. So even if I wasn't in tune with kind of what was going on and knowing that she's Agatha Harkness, immediately my first thought was she's way too chipper and way too like upbeat, and there's something wrong with her. Like it's just there was something off completely. Yeah. First of all, that actress is highly annoying in almost every role that she plays.
I love her.
Yeah.
In Step Brothers, she's like the best. Oh my god.
Yeah. But like she plays that like super annoying role like perfectly. So like she's really good at doing it. So I'm not saying I don't like her as an actress, but she does play that annoying role. So I was just like, there's no way that she is this good to them, and that's genuine, and that's from her heart that she actually cares. Oh my gosh, with the picture.
I think that she's always watching them, you know, even when they're like, you know, hanging out in the house, she's always just popping in and making sure.
Because they label her as nosy neighbor because they didn't want people to guess who she was, and so they label her nosy neighbor, and that's perfect because she's always watching, so it makes sense that she is the nosy neighbor.
So I wanted to look up Agatha Harkness's actual age, because if they're gonna like scale it down Aunt May style, then I mean, what other old ladies are they gonna be scaling down? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, are we going to see Granny Goodness as like a teenager or something? Like, in DC, like what's going on with?
Did you actually look up the age? What age is she?
I did look it up, but I'm thinking that they're going to be like, she has a mortal life, and this is why, so she can do this kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I'm hoping we see the you know, the whole darker side of Marvel with this stuff, like the more cult stuff.
Yes, cult, definitely. That is the feeling that I got, especially into the second episode, that the town is just a cult. Like, I had to double take and rewind when they're sitting at that meeting, and she just happens to say, like, in passing, for the children, and then they all respond, for the children. And then I almost missed it. I almost missed it until Scarlet Witch had to like repeat, "Oh, for the children," because she was like taking a sip or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what was that? So I like rewound it, and I was like, wait a minute, they all
For
just
the
repeated
children.
for the children. I was
You
like,
see
that
it like all of them go from like just what they're doing to that.
So
and
for
another
the children,
thing,
go ahead.
Before that, when they're planning that, she says, "This is the only sole charity that we're doing for these kids."
Yes, for
she
the kids.
says those words.
But what
sole
kids?
charity that she's doing for these kids?
We haven't seen any. We haven't seen any kids.
Exactly. So that's another thing. There's the words to me when she says sole charity. You know, I know they mean like it's the only one, but you don't really say like it's the only sole charity.
A little bit of Little Wayne word
charity. You really, even if it's spelled, differently.
Right.
I think that they've been doing that because she says charm, she's a soul, devil, like her big key words in her sentences are all going towards either being big red herrings or just tipping us, giving us a little bit something because of last year was so hard.
Right. Okay, we're not at the beekeepers yet, but I don't think that was a hint to AIM. I think that was a hint to sword.
There's a sword logo on his back, so
yeah.
I just got in an argument with my buddy and paused it. I was like,
I do think that there was a hint of AIM. The thing that I think was AIM, and I had a conversation with someone on Instagram about it, is that when they finally shows the guy in the chair, like the little hand or whatever, and he's controlling everything in the studio. My first thought was AIM. I don't know why. It was just my thing. Like they're messing with the technology. That's kind of AIM's specialty.
It could be both. There could be AIM agents and sword agents.
Because we saw hints to Hydra as well.
Exactly. And no, the whole Baron Strucker thing, I wanted to touch on that. The watch, it actually speeds up towards the end and everything. First of all, she volunteered for the tests, and then basically Strucker to her wasn't really a bad guy. He was just trying to upgrade her, even though he was murdering people trying to do it. Her and her brother already had like a pre-exposed condition. They were externals, and that's what happens when you're an external, basically a mutant or new mutant. Everyone, even Spider-Man, had an empty space in their DNA, and that's how they become super. So what it's kind of saying is like, it's like it'll change your life and all this stuff. It's just her subconscious telling her like, you made these choices to become this person. You hurting people on accident and stuff like that, and people being afraid of you is what you chose. And she's like a ticking time bomb, and that's why it's,
Yep. Yeah. It was that all the commercials, because that's not the only one that like tick 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 tick, the toaster as well, tick 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 tick, and then pop with the toaster, and then tick 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 with the watch. So I'm really excited to see what the next commercial is going to be, if it's going to follow the same kind of structure. The commercials I think are definitely a link, obviously, back to the real world, whatever the real world in this thing is, and it's just what's kind of connecting, or it's that last glimpse of reality that Scarlet Witch has in her brain back to where she is.
Yes,
it could be either one. But yeah, the Hydra symbol on the watch, that was, and then obviously it being called Strucker, and then the sword symbol on the beekeeper, and then she just wanted to rewind. So that obviously struck a chord with her, and she just wanted to pretend that never happened. So are we in Wanda's reality, or are we in who's fake reality?
Definitely in Wanda's, because she even says no, and then fun and games everyone back to where everything kind of branched off.
Yes.
So and I say funny games because that's that movie where they actually did that. The killers get killed by the hostages, and then one of the main killers stands up and says no, and then grabs a remote and rewinds at the camera. The whole movie's been hyper realistic until this point, and then it rewinds the movie until she goes to grab the gun, and he knows and grabs the gun first and hits her with it. And it never explains why he can do that. Never ever does any of that stuff. It's just one of those movies, and it blows people's minds. And that was a definite callback to that moment. And they also mixed it with when she can re-alter history by saying no more mutants, because she says no. Only thing missing was more mutants. I was like, "Arr!" Like so many fucking things went off in my head because of that. It was like a pop culture fucking gangbang for that
Right.
whole moment.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the fact that there's bees in the sewers. What do you think that's about?
I don't know, man. I knew I was missing something with why he was a beekeeper, why he was surrounded by bees coming out. I got the sword logo that I picked up on real quick. As far as like what the bees were supposed to represent, or if I know there is a character called Beekeeper, but that's not who it is.
Do you want to know what I think about it? Do you
Go
want
ahead.
The crazy where I go when I smoke a blunt and think about it? So this guy being in the undercrop,
there's a lot of House of M ties.
Yeah. So think about this: the guy is in a bee suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go into as a government organization, going into a dimensional rift that you know is made up of everything that she hopes for and wants and all that kinds of stuff, assuming that that's what this is what
Right.
my whole thing's around, assuming it's Wanda's universe and she can read everyone's minds and control everyone's minds while they're in there, and she can see what they want, what they're thinking, what they're going to say next, all that subconsciously. Anyone that goes in would automatically be in opposition. So they would either get inducted into the cast of who's in there, which is making sense why more people keep showing up. And I think the town's going to get bigger every episode, obviously, because it's going to bring more people in and keep expanding. And that's why they're trying to stop it. I think it's going to take over the whole fucking world. And I think that the beekeeper is wearing that suit because he actually is deathly afraid of bees. And he goes in to go and collect some samples of whatever's going on or some information in Wanda's head. And he knows that she's going to send bees after him because he's deathly afraid of bees. So
okay.
And I think, because I paused it right on the dude's face. Right. And I know this is a reach. I know for a fact because I want it to happen so bad. But his face almost identically matches the leader.
Okay.
The original leader from the Hulk movies just before Mark took over. Gotcha. So, it drips on his head and he's like, Durr! And that actor has gotten like super skinny. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's be a great addition to the show. He's so serious. He can be funny. He can be sad, everything all the way around. He's great.
On IMDb or anything? Have you checked?
If no, it's the same guy? I haven't done. This was 30 minutes ago, right before we did this. I just watched it, and we paused it. It's bright enough so you can really see it on the actual on the footage. I haven't really looked into it as much, but if it's the leader, then that means AIM is a thing. We got AIM, Advanced Idea.
Right.
Maybe it's Macaulay Culkin from My Girl. Hell yeah. I like that. But I mean, when you guys want to see the leader come back and be in Advanced Idea Mechanics as the beekeeper, that would make sense.
They're talking about bringing Abomination back, so why wouldn't they bring Leader back?
Exactly. And let's imagine that they do send a big hitting superhero in. What would that do? That would just make them a part of the cast. She would accept them, put them into her little beehive, and then all that. And it would just be kind of cool, like for her, she would be seeing everything.
It represents the beehive.
That's what a lot of people are saying the beekeeper means. They're trying to make her the queen, and they're making her produce so that she can have more the children that fragments of Mephisto's soul or someone. A lot of people think that.
What I'm saying is the beehive, the ones that created Warlock, and they're trying to create the perfect human. Do you think they're trying to create the perfect human with? Is that a stretch? That's a big
I think
stretch,
they're trying to make weapons using Wanda.
That's too much of a stretch.
It's very possible.
Obviously, they're after the baby. This random baby that's just
after the two
manifested.
So
the twins.
Let's go to that. All right. So she's pregnant for all of 3 minutes of the show, right at the end. No baby bump, no coitus, no nothing. There's just all baby bump in there.
Scientist/henchman. Interesting.
There you go. See, we know where these shows usually go. They always bring one idea and then go with another, and then they put them together. So there's baby number one, and obviously they're both going to be twins, which is a given, probably a boy and a girl. Baby number two which is right here. Maybe there is a boy and a girl. Maybe they're both boys. We don't know yet, but everyone thinks there's going to be her normal kids. I think they're going to switch it up. They're going to do a little bit something different. You never know. And these kids are going to be someone we're going to get used to for about 4 or 5 episodes. And that's what she's going to be fighting for, her and Vision. Instead of like they show in the previews, we got to save our town. But no, I don't even give a shit about that. I think they mean the whole world that they have just cultivated. You know, They want to keep that Inception world going, you know.
Especially since, I mean, like you're saying, this alternate reality that Wanda has created inside of her head is obviously she's going to latch on to the babies as the last figmentation of Vision. If Vision is not actually existent. So yeah, I'm with you there. They're not fighting for the town. They don't care about the town. They don't like anybody in the town so far as I can tell.
And the town doesn't like them. It's like rejecting them.
Yes, right. So the fight, whatever the fight, you know, the big, you know, whatever, however it comes down to as the last stand is just going to be over the children. For the children.
This could be as simple as Advanced Idea Mechanics doing this to her with MODOK and the leader and no Mephisto at all. And they're really just coercing her to create these beings because she can do that. Mm-hmm. And it could be that simple. But that's what, like I said earlier, with the red herrings, it's literally the color red. I mean,
yes,
red herring.
It's like the same thing that in the movie Schindler's List when there was the one red. What was it? Was it a scarf?
It's the dress.
Yeah. Dress. Yeah,
it was a little girl, and then there was like a red
movie in a long time. But yeah, the one red thing is it's they always do, or in The Sixth Sense where it was like the red thing
every time bad something.
Yeah, it was always red. So it's a very overplayed form.
It's a nice little trope.
Yeah, but it's there.
So let's go back to the main subject. What I brought you here for today. So wait, I think we should get Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
Let me talk about my main marketing thing here.
Bruce Campbell as Mephisto.
Marvel, if you're listening right now.
Let's get back to what we're here for today. Let's get that going. But yeah, I mean, with WandaVision so far, episode 1 was amazing. Episode 2, even better. That was, I think you noticed it was a Bewitched animation style in the beginning, and they even did little skits in it, little animation skits. Well, I love those. Some of them showed a couple little Easter eggs, like in the beginning when it goes through the floor, you see a helmet of someone, and that's Death. It's like I can't remember what his full title is, but it's something Death. And he is Wonder Man's brother, who Wonder Man's soul made Vision, and he has something against Vision for that, but that's not even canon in this, so I don't know what they're going to do there, unless he's Jarvis's brother. I don't know. So that's my
favorite Scooby-Doo villain.
Red herring, yeah, that's what he was, though. He was always the one you thought was going to be the bad guy because he was a red herring.
Let me just talk about real quick how much I loved the scene where they're performing magic.
Oh my god, yeah.
So that there was so much into that where they're putting on the magic show for the children that don't exist yet. But the just the way that she was able to trick everyone in the crowd just kind of goes to show, like we were just discussing before, that she can kind of make everyone think or see what she wants them to think or see. Right. Because, you know, when he's floating and then all of a sudden there's a rope and then everyone's like, oh yeah, there's a rope. But her outfit is
this comic disappear.
Yeah, I can make this comic disappear. That's so funny.
That's how mirrors work.
The classic outfit of Scarlet Witch is what she wore as the magician's assistant outfit, which I thought was really, really cool. Because
just a little bit of an off color.
Yes. So it was, I mean, just like that was the outfit without the headpiece or the cape, I guess, if she was going to be wearing a cape.
Well, you did notice she called him Illusion. That was his stage name. And then later on he says, well, I'm Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that right there was just them looking right at the camera and they're like,
yeah, and basically saying that he's not real.
He's not
Yeah,
really.
Vision's not really there. I mean, how could he be? If we're moving forward with Phase 4, how could he be?
So like, so she's Edward Norton and he's Brad Pitt.
So we're gonna go into the NPR version of our. But I just really like the outfit. I also really like the fact that she said she would never wear that outfit, and then here she is wearing that outfit.
Like, no, that's the second half of your.
No, outfit. Marvel, I won't wear that. Oh wait, you're gonna pay me more? Okay, I'll wear it.
I mean, they were probably like, you don't have to at all wear that, and she was like, I'll wear it if I want to.
Yeah, they reverse psychology.
It's what it is. I mean, it's not a bad costume. It's not the worst costume in that era. They had way worse ones. I mean, even later on with Power Girl, it's too much. It was like just the whole costume covers except for like it's a bathing suit. Like, why don't you just go swimming?
Mm-hmm.
More aerodynamic.
I like how the opening of each has been a throwback to a different show. Says Dusty. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this, obviously, because I guess I missed the opening part.
We got Dick Van Dyke, which was the very first one, like the 1960s, 1961, 1963 or so, and then we had Bewitched, which was that ran for like 5 or 6 seasons, and then I believe right when Color TV came out, they put I Dream of Jeannie. So I think we're getting I Dream of Jeannie next.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know because that part obviously flew over my head, the opening credit part.
Oh, you're just
yeah.
You're like, show.
I mean, I do I do catch a lot in the show, but that part I guess I wasn't paying attention. I was stupid. I didn't watch
pausing every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't going frame by frame like Justin.
I got a job. The people are counting on me.
I gotta watch every single frame.
I have to know before it's spoiled.
Oh man.
Yeah, they didn't fail me on the whole little Easter eggs, little tidbits here and there to show you that there's another world going on. I like that. And
there's a lot of like parallels too.
But didn't you feel like watching it was like watching one of the episodes from the Honeymooners and I Love Lucy? Like they had that sound, everything just dead on.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke actually gave them tips on some of the slapstick comedy for the first episode.
Which
actually horribly. What do you mean?
Well, it was just not funny.
Well, how's it going to be funny when you've already seen like a world of Jackass? Like nothing's funny anymore.
It wasn't even. It just could have been a little bit more clever.
It was funny then. Trust me.
No, yeah, terribly funny getting hit in the face with a plate.
Not so
fake.
Bad. I mean, that's
so bad.
No, they did that on purpose. Come on, all of those gags are from the exact time era.
It looked so terrible. Like and maybe they did it on purpose, or they probably did it on purpose,
bro.
But I'm just sitting there like this is awful.
All right, so someone said that there's $19 million into each episode. You think they spent $19 million? The fucking they were like
19 million.
19 million an episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was Game of Thrones? 100 million?
No, probably not. They still haven't finished.
Not at the beginning.
They haven't really finished that shit. I mean, they ended it, but they were like,
well, I mean,
people aren't having it.
George R.R. Martin is never going to finish writing that.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Like, everyone hated my ending? Not going to finish.
Now that you guys got the dragons, you're fucking done with it.
Ooh, not going to finish this one at all.
All right, so the year is obviously still 2023 for them, even though it looks like it's the 50s when you look at the calendar. I think New Rockstars pointed this out. I can't remember if it was them or someone on a forum pointed out first, but I saw it on New Rockstars.
Okay.
Year 2023 has August 23rd being on that exact day of the week, and that only happens during 2023. All the other years, it'll be a different day.
Gosh,
so
can you imagine, like the foresight that they have to do to just for the calendar.
It's not.
I mean, the fact that they know that people are gonna sit there and break down that calendar.
They know it, yeah. So they love doing it. So they put like, if I put you on like, all right, let's do time scale. You just do time scale, watch all the movies, get it all correct for me. These guys are gonna go through and They're going to make sure that everything, all the times and everything in continuity for the episodes is correct. And then they take pictures, everything on set. You know, everything's like really, really $19 million per episode.
The guy checking the time stuff got $1 million by himself.
Even, you know, that piece of gum that she pulled out of Vision?
Uh-huh.
That was $2 million worth of gum.
That's crazy.
They build their medical insurance, that shit, for like $3 million just to.
Or, you know, when he was floating in the air, they spent $5 million in the air.
That rope was actually $500,000. Dude, oh my god,
they got a special rope.
One of my favorite scenes in it was when he was like, "I'm gonna go through my hat."
Oh yeah, yes. So like,
I'm doing it.
Wanda's like, "No, you can't have the bunny," and he's like, "I'm gonna pull myself through the hat, or pull the hat through me." He just does it.
I'm doing it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So the other thing about this show is with where we're going, we all know where it leads. I mean, I know where it leads because I remember them talking about it last year. She's going to end up being the villain, and there's obviously going to be some tragedies that happen in between where we're at now and then. So I think
who's going to be the villain?
Wanda's the villain for the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's going to be destroying the universe on Earth, or destroying the universe in the universe. I don't know what the fuck.
Simultaneously, like you think she's destroying the universe right now while she's in this trapped?
Yes, I think she's. Like I said, it's growing because it was just a street,
right?
And then it became a whole town, Westview, and then they're probably going to end up in the next episode. They're going to go to a mall that's like maybe 60, 70 miles away or something far, and it's going to show that they can travel in this now. And then Vision flies up, you know, like in the credits or in the trailers that they had. And then we see all of this stuff like really growing, her illusion growing until it covers the whole universe. And I think that's where we're going to end up. In Wanda's real time, I think it's going to take her about maybe 6 or 7 months to really get to that bad. We're going to be seeing it. And like, I think we're on day 2 in the second episode. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's what we're seeing.
So they're trying to reach her, you think, to stop it from happening. So that's growing. What you think is going on with the radio? Yeah, they're trying to stop her. And then when she says that she's not there to hurt anyone, and Dottie replies back, "I think you are," or maybe I think you are. Yeah. So that's just kind of a blatant call out that.
And they're fueling it. They're fueling her want to sit there and stay and make that world beautiful for her and Vision and make a better world. Right. Because as Avenger, that's what she wanted to do, was, you know, make the world better after everything she's seen. So it's it just falls into place that it's going to end up her being the bad guy, and Hawkeye's going to shoot her in the face because he recruited her. I mean, I'm sorry,
Hawkeye's but just going to have to shoot her right in the face, man.
I'm sorry, but that's what we're going to get there. We're going to get there, and Pietro's going to be the only guy who can make that arrow hit her in the face.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I'm calling it now. What's the time?
So yeah, 7:38 p.m. Eastern on January 16th.
I called it.
Justin says that Wanda's gonna die with an arrow to the knee from Hawkeye.
from Hawkeye shooting it, Pietro grabbing it and stabbing her with it, misleading. You remember that scene where he kept trying to shoot the arrow? I think that's gonna happen, and Wanda's gonna be like, "What the hell?" And then she's not gonna see it coming because she's never gonna, you know, think Pietro would do that. But
wait, what scene? What are you talking about?
In Avengers, when he shows up in the woods for the first time in Avengers Ultron.
Oh, okay.
He's like, every time Hawkeye goes to shoot for the bunker.
Oh, okay.
He comes and grabs his arrow. He's like, what the fuck? I think something like that. We're going to do more callbacks to number 2, because I mean, we just seen a shit ton of number 2 in Endgame, and the other half of it can be flushed out in the rest of the shows. And Winter Soldier and all that stuff. All the movies are going to get more stuff added to their continuity because of these shows.
Right. Okay.
Which is beautiful.
So you think, okay, so leading forward, leading into the next episode, you're saying that you think that it's going to expand into more of a city. They're going to go somewhere that's more of like a city type feel, like a strip mall or a mall or something like that. Somewhere where they have to travel a little further than walking down the street to a community meeting, for example.
They call it Eastview.
I'm sorry?
They call it Eastview.
Oh, okay. And so then beyond that, what do you think is coming as far as the next episode goes? As far as like what's the next step?
I think we're going to see people get closer and closer to her that are from the outside. And
we're going to get babies next episode just like that?
Yes. In the next episode, I think we're going to get well, no, I don't think they're going to be born in the next episode. I think the episode after that, they give us 2 at a time, then we'll be good. I would love that. But
are they doing
probably
or it's just one
those seem so short, and I was just like really upset by it.
I know, right? It was like you think you have 10 minutes left, but 7 minutes is talking about all the credits in a different language.
Until that fat next episode came up, and I was like, bet. Honestly, like, didn't you watch all the way through the credits? Just like be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Because I thought something else was coming. I was like, there's no way there's 8 minutes of credits, and yet there were 8 minutes of credits.
I think we just went through the 50s and the 60s. 70s is next. We've seen in the trailers Monica Rambeau freaking out, saying she doesn't know who she is. Right. Obviously, it's getting more unstable, and eventually, when as we get to where we're at now, 2023 will be their timeline for now. But where we're at now is kind of like how our filming style is and everything. That's what people think once it gets to like the Office style mockumentary kind of style. That's when we're going to really break the illusion. She's going to break the fourth wall even harder and realize that, well, their fourth wall, I guess, right. Which would be our fifth wall if they break that.
It's like 20 walls.
It's like 20 walls.
I think that the next episode is going to be spent like the summary or the baseline of the episode is them preparing for the children. So they have to make a nursery. They got to do a little bit the baby's coming type things.
Yeah, the baby exercises.
Yeah, the silly things like that. And then of course something horribly wrong is going to go at the very end of the episode. But I think what you're saying, it makes sense that maybe that's how they're gonna travel. They have to go and get crib and paint for the room or the nursery or whatever, and etc. So they have to go into town or go out into the city or whatever to get that, and then just more shenanigans happens. I'm sure Agnes/Agatha is going to be nosy as usual and just pop up out of nowhere and start asking a bunch of questions about the baby and if they're taking care of it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. She's probably going to get the babies necklaces or some kind of charm to put on them. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's going to be a birth. I think they're just going to I think they're going to be like, and then the babies are there. They're not going to they're not going to be.
They don't have enough time to gloss over a hospital scene.
They're not even going to be born though. Like they're not really inside of her. They're not really there at all. They're just an illusion that she's making happen. She's manifesting the whole thing.
Illusions, Michael.
Yeah. So like, I think those are real people in her simulation that she's making. But also I think that AIM has people in there too that are, stuck in there. And so does SHIELD and not SHIELD, but SWORD. I think they have agents in there, and that's why the town keeps growing and growing. And anyone caught in the way in that neighborhood, which if it even is a real neighborhood, could just be an empty field.
Who's real? And Dottie has to be real because she bled.
Dottie, real. I would say. So let's go through that. Who's real?
Yeah.
Agatha Harkness, real. Dottie,
yes.
Real.
Yes.
Wanda, real.
Obviously.
Maybe. I mean, they could be like, ha Vision.
there is no Wanda.
Wanda's Mephisto.
You think Vision's Mephisto? That would be crazy.
So, or who's
that would
Monica Rambeau?
She's not happening.
I think the guy who's with Dottie, I think that was the pilot for the helicopter that Rambeau was the pilot, and there's the other guy with her, the guy with the mustache, because at that time, facial hair like that, like he has, wasn't welcome in the Office place. So him being in that whole era and having that mustache and all that stuff, and him being kicked out of the office shows that he doesn't belong. You
talking about like in one of the very first scenes when they're talking about
he's a communist. That guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so
the kid looking. That's what I thought. Wait, are you talking about the one where Vision was talking to the boss and he was like, "Well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen well for this guy." and he
that's
got his box of stuff and had to walk out. Okay,
that's Dottie's husband. Yeah, that's Dottie's husband, and that was his mother's piano, grandmother's piano. That Wanda
really
made poof.
Rewatch these, obviously,
and that scene right there shows even further how disrespectful Wanda is with creating her illusions. That she doesn't give a shit. Like she made that guy think that's his grandmother's piano, and then she made him think that he just lost it. She don't give a shit about these people at all. So
no, but she's also trying to protect what
she is. A villain already. She is, I would say, that'd be like neutral evil. I don't know what it'd be like.
It's not neutral. It's chaotic.
Not good. Chaotic evil.
It's chaotic.
She's chaotic good. She's chaotic good. She's doing what's good for her.
Right.
And I feel like it's just going to keep showing her gain more that she loves, and they're going to take a page right out of the Revenge of the Sith, and you're going to see that you're going to see her go and murder babies. I don't know, like
kill younglings. All right, so that's exciting. Let us know in the comments what you think your speculations are, what you think of our speculations, etc., etc. We're probably going to end this here coming up. We just have a couple of shout outs to do as far as what's coming up for both of us. I know tonight Justin has a live auction on Instagram at Comic Talks. You can see his little his tag right there by his name, and also in the description you can subscribe to him on YouTube, and he's putting out content there regularly. You can subscribe to me as well if you feel like it. And I will be doing my next big auction is going to be at the end of the month and on the 30th. And that's where Justin and I are going to South Carolina. And we're going to be hitting up a convention there, having a lot of fun, and bringing you a crazy, huge convention type auction that we do. Which is
man. I've just been getting ready for that. Not drinking anything. No alcohol.
Just a full detox leading into it, so that the first drink you're just like, oh my god.
There's two things we get when we hang out. First, Taco Bell. Usually it's like a Taco Bell lunch of some kind, some fancy out to Taco Bell with Bay. And then two, a bottle of whiskey. And
it's just such always a bad combination.
Yeah, and on the last day, every time I get onto a plane, I have a pizza with James, Papa John's pizza, every single time. I'm always regretting it on the plane, like dying. Oh god. Just sitting on the chair crying.
We regret all of our decisions the next day. Just like the Taco Bell whiskey pizza combination that we put together
never worked
on the same day, and it's like we never learn. Mm-hmm. We just do it again the next time.
It's a ritual. It really is a ritual kind of thing. It's like a luck thing. We don't we wear the same clothes every time. We
we actually just wear the same clothes every day. Period.
Every day, all day. We're like cartoon characters in the 90s. Never change. This is it. So so the whole episode, that if you guys are just catching up, we were talking about Bruce Campbell playing Mephisto, and I think that should happen. So go out and get your copies of the first appearance of Mephisto 5.0.
That's the other thing I wanted to say. The copies that you should be speculating on, I think, obviously, Silver Surfer 3 has already shot up. So if you haven't gotten one yet, might be too late. But I think there's still room to grow.
Also, the reason why we even suggest this, and I'm not big on telling people to go buy hot books unless it's like for sure gonna not drop in like a minute. This book right here has always been popular, and it's always been hard to find. So if you get mid-grade, that's your little safety area for that book. You won't have a ripped off cover. You won't have any marker on it most of the time. Just get a nice mid-grade copy for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be bad.
And also we have Fantastic Four number 94, first Agatha Harkness. Justin told me to get this book. What is it? A year or two ago?
Yeah.
I got a couple copies.
It's because of Franklin.
I listened to him, and as I usually do, don't always listen to him, but sometimes I do. And I got a couple of those, so that's definitely a spec book to get right now before it hits the Hot 10 list on Friday, because it will.
So I had one more theory before we go.
Yes.
What if her two children were Franklin and Valeria Richards.
Bro,
but
I'd
not
be rich.
but not the Fantastic Four. You know, like they won't say like, oh, they're the Richards. They're actually going to be, you know, two kids created.
You think they're just going to call them?
I
Franklin?
think that we're gonna, what if what we see is Fantastic Four in the making?
That a lot of people are actually talking about Fantastic Four in the making right now. That's what's happening.
What if the Beekeeper is Reed Richards?
Now you're just being ridiculous. You see him continuing to come out of the manhole with no legs, like he's just stretching up. She's like, no,
no.
That is a common theory right now that the Fantastic Four is what's being made in this show.
Yeah, I wanted to put one of those out there theories just for fun, but if I'm right, if we get Franklin Richards just because, like, just for the fuck of it, you know, it's
then that would mean they're in what, the negative zone?
No, what if Sue and Reed lost their kids in like a negative zone? They were like, the only way to get them back is to trick Wanda into making them reborn again.
So they're gonna send Wanda into so she's trapped in the negative zone. Yeah. And so so Reed and Sue are just willing to sacrifice Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, so this is the thing.
For the children. They're sacrificing them for the children.
It's $19 million an episode. So I mean, some kids.
You're back on this. Yeah. So look, man, if it's 19 million, that's in the negative zone. They're in the negative zone the whole time. Bro, 18 million was just spent on the negative zone.
Well, look at this. What if the Beekeeper is really Darkhawk?
Oh my god. Well, okay, so we have Darkhawk as the Beekeeper, right? And then the guy who's controlling the TV at the end of the first episode, that's Sleepwalker, obviously.
Yeah.
So we're just getting a whole bunch of crappy 90s comics going on in the No. I just stop watching. No, we're done with this.
All right. Well, everyone, I have an auction tonight at 10 p.m. on IG.
Yes.
You can see my name down there. Usually it's about 2 hours when I do the small ones. It's going to be a small one combining with my last Thursday's auction. And it's combined shipping for anyone that was at my last one. New on YouTube, both me and James. So please give us a like. This was all inspired by D. He's right here on my shirt. Oh, there you go. I'm still learning the reverse camera angles. There you go. D. D Collect Comics was a really good friend of ours, and we would have had this going 2 years ago if we hadn't lost him. So
that's true.
Big shout out to D, and thank you everyone for joining. It's been a lot of fun. I got to mess with the green screen technology, which is really fun.
And we're still learning and figuring everything out as far as YouTube goes. So we will be a lot more active here in the future. But right now we will definitely be every Friday to discuss the WandaVision episode that drops, or 2. Hopefully it goes to.
I mean, and other things because.
Well, yes, and other things.
The weeks are jam packed with all kinds of news, and it all ends up winding up, at the same movie. And we're getting Spider-Man soon, so I can't wait to see how this affects that.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We will be back soon. Check out Justin at Comic Talks for his auction tonight on Instagram. Check me out on YouTube. I've got a new video dropping tomorrow that I think you guys are really going to like. It's really, really funny. Alexis and I spent some good time doing it. So that'll be amusing for you. And y'all have a good one. Peace.